Damn, imagine Pokey coming out defending Fed after everything on the Ratchler. Oh shit, that's right. Does that have to do with Pokey moving out? Wait, did Pokey move out? Oh shit, wait, why didn't I see this announced? She said she's tired of everything being content for stream and wanted to move in with friends. I mean, dog, you live with streamers. She's moving in with more popular people. Damn. I wonder if, so offline TV is probably done.
Wait, why are people in chat bringing up Fed? Did something happen, guys?
%.
Oh, wow. The offline TV Simpson action.
100%.
Holy shit.
Feels weird, man.
Oh my god. Sounds like Fed is outed for touching a girl's hand, and she admits it. What he did wasn't... Wait, what? That's not...
100%.
These stories say. The last 60 seconds of Fed's last stream. Oh my god, dude. Are you gonna see the last 60 seconds of Destiny's stream? Is this gonna happen soon? Wait, is this Pokemon Emerald? This game's changed a lot. This looks like that once whatever game Mooten wanted to play.
Yeah, all right, guys. I have a meeting that I forgot to it's at 10, and it's kind of a big meeting.
Yeah,
I actually
party.
fucked up, so.
All right, well, we'll play another time. Thanks for introducing it, and I'll watch the tutorial in the meantime so that I understand the game a little better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right, take care, Fed.
All right,
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Sorry, I actually fucked up. There's a meeting I have to attend. All right. I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right. See you guys tomorrow or something. Sorry, I actually big fucked up. I did not think it was today.
It seems like he took off his pants and cuddled with her in the same bed without her consent, right? Okay, so one, we have to actually... I need to read what was in there. But two, that's what you've just typed is really fucking bad. What the fuck? Alright, here we go. We're reading. Who is this Chris that Lily references? ChrisChan, an ex-manager of hers. The guy, he was... Well... I guess technically they wanted their privacy respected, so never mind. But I streamed with him and Lily a little bit when we ate dinner in Taiwan. Co-founder of Offline TV? I think he might have been, yeah. All right. I want to start this off by saying Fed was the first friend I felt like I made at Offline TV. He was very welcoming, and I spent most time with him out of everyone. We got along really well and quickly became really, really good friends. We would go on late-night food runs and watch movies together in my room since I had a TV. He fell asleep frequently there, and it became a pretty normal thing. We always stayed on our sides of the bed, and nothing ever really happened until it did. I was lying in bed with all the lights off. The door opened and Fed came in, drunk from going out that night. He crawled into my bed and laid there for a bit. Then he grabbed my hand and held it, and I didn't move at all because I was shocked. He then brushed my hand against his cheek and kissed it after. I was still in a state of shock, trying to process what's happening, because this guy's supposed to be my friend. He also knew I had a boyfriend at the time. Next, he stuck his hand inside my sleeve and touched my side next to my chest. Although it wasn't exactly my chest, it was close enough to make me feel extremely uncomfortable, and I feel like this was not a place where a friend should be touching me. I still couldn't move at this point, and in my head I was just begging for him to not go any further, praying he would stop there. He did, retracted his hand, and made it seem like he was sleeping. 10 minutes later, he woke up and said, "Whoa, how'd I get here?" I asked, "Do you remember anything?" And then he said no and left my room. Just so you guys know, for girls or guys in the chat, because girls and guys do this, if you ever get a bunch of super horny boy texts from a guy or a girl, and then afterwards they're like, "Sorry, I'm really drunk right now," 9 out of 10 times they're barely tipsy or they're not drunk at all, okay? just as an FYI. The next day, I went up to his room and asked if he remembered what happened last night. He said no. I told myself that if he forgot, then maybe he didn't know that he was doing because he was drunk, and I didn't want to bring it up again because I didn't want to make it weird between us. A few weeks later, I was lying in bed again, and he came in drunk again. He laid down next to me and told me he was sorry for what happened last time. and that he overstepped boundaries. So then I thought to myself, did he remember this whole time and lied about it? I didn't say anything, and 10 minutes later he did it again, minus the t-shirt part. Again, I'm scared to say anything. Does she mean that he touched her actual boob that time? Again, I'm scared to say anything, and he fell asleep next to me. The next day, he also acted like nothing ever happened, and I asked him at some point if he remembered anything, and he said no again. I kept this secret to myself for a very long time. The only people I could tell were my boyfriend at the time. I know him, Sean. Everybody knows she has a boyfriend. And a close friend of mine, and out of respect for me, they didn't tell anyone. I felt like if I told anyone at Offline TV, the world would come crashing down and that Offline TV would die/cease to exist, so I never did. I minimized it a lot and carried on throughout my days as usual, but small things in me started changing without me realizing it. I started avoiding Fed more. I went from hanging out with him all the time to almost never. I tunneled into League because it felt easy to be busy in a game, so he couldn't talk to me or bother me. It became the easiest way to avoid him, being addicted to a game. One day I told him what happened between us, and he said he didn't remember/know it happened. He proceeded to say he was a horrible person, and I felt bad and started comforting him. I will always remember that one of the first things he asked me after he found out was, "Did you tell anyone?" and proceeded to panic when he felt like people could know. Oh, sorry. And he asked me after he found out was, "Did you tell anyone?" and proceeded to panic when he felt like people could know. I also told him that my boyfriend at the time, Sean, doesn't blame him and knows he isn't a bad person deep down, to which he responded, "Yeah, it's in his best interest not to." Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Which it wasn't, by the way. Sean is just a super nice guy who tried to be understanding and give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to say that Sean is a really cool dude. I've seen Sean like multiple times at the Offline TV house. Every interaction I've had with him has been really good. He seems like a really fun, like really funny, really chill guy. But all you motherfuckers are fucking rapists out there, so I don't know anymore, okay? I'm looking at all you now. Not too sure. I'm kind of wondering about all you motherfuckers. But yeah, I don't know. Sean seems like a cool dude. I've never heard of anything. Did they break up? Oh wait, did they? I have no idea. Sorry if they did. I'm not sure. But Sean has always been like a really cool dude. I haven't heard anything bad about him or anything happening. Yeah. Destiny, what the fuck is this? Yeah, it's in his best interest not to response. What does it mean? It could mean like he's like saying that it would be bad for his career or something. Although I don't even know what Sean does career-wise with Offline TV, but I don't know. Okay. Yvonne talking about this on Dr. K. Oh, hold on.
Taking it for the team.
Why would you? This clip is worthless. No one says anything. It's just her crying for 60 seconds. I don't know why you would link this. But yeah, she was obviously really upset about it. You're really bad at pretending you don't know stuff, by the way. You make it really obvious by trying to do that, LOL. I don't know how. I don't know what you guys think I know or don't know. Like, I don't know anything about, like, Sean and Yvonne breaking up. I legitimately have no idea. I don't. Yvonne is, like, I'm trying to say this without sounding, like, really rude, but, like, Yvonne is, like, a side character in like the Offline TV house, or she's not like a main person that I've known. Like I've never been like directly associated with her. Like I know her when I'm hanging out with Lily or Pokey or I guess those are the only two that I ever, or Scar, but I guess I don't hang out with her much. Like that's when I would see her. So I don't know like directly like her life or Sean that much. Like I don't know them all the time. So when you say like, oh, I know you actually knew, but you were just checking, which I'm not. I legit have no idea. But oh, friend of a friend, not side character. I'm sorry. Okay, not like an NPC. I'm sorry. Yeah, she was a house manager for a while. Yeah. And then for everything I've seen of Yvonne seems like really cool too. Yeah. Okay. You know her by yeah, I shouldn't say side character. That's really weird, but okay. He said all these things, but never once did he apologize to me after learning about the situation that he forgot. Thinking back, his thought process was super messed up because he was more worried about people finding out than how he hurt me. I minimized it so much that I would forget at times it even happened in the first place. It was weird because there were certain times where he could trigger me, but other times seeing him was fine. It triggered me when he'd knock on my door, barely waiting, and despite no response, he'd just come in. I remember I tried locking my door a few times, and he gave me a hard time for doing so. Why the fuck is your door locked? Multiple times where he'd come in at night without me saying he could. Everyone else in the house always knocks and waits for a response, but not him. It also triggered me whenever he'd walk into my room, jump into my bed, and start going on his phone, but again, I minimized, and honestly felt bad, really bad, for feeling that way towards him. I kept this all to myself mostly because I didn't want to ruin the peace. I wanted to avoid the situation, and I thought he would avoid after what happened with me. He didn't. He proceeded to overstep boundaries with other girls in our friend group, and each girl kept it to themselves because they would just think, oh, it's just Fred, or he was lonely/drunk. He even did it to Lily. She gave me permission to share this. When she was going through her hard breakup with Albert, Fed also walked into her room while she was drunk. She was laying down, and he asked if she wanted a massage. She said sure, and he started off with massaging her leg, then up her thighs. A week or so later, he was drunk and laid down next to her and told her he liked her. She then felt uncomfortable with everything, and he asked her not to tell anyone what happened. Again, thinking back, it felt like he tried to take advantage of Lily when she was in a really vulnerable state. One night, the girls were hanging out together, and when the topic of Fed came up, he realized we all had our stories about him. Whether it was him lying about certain situations to be in his favor, or lying to us about girls, leading him on when he was the one who got rejected, or manipulating us to have certain ideas of people/situations, Pokey especially suffered a lot from this, and I'll let her explain if she chooses to do so. The stories shared were mainly of Fed overstepping boundaries, being overly touchy, in which we all thought we were just Fed things. We thought it was fine because we told ourselves it's just how he is. We thought each of our stories, as we shared each of our stories, we realized it was not fine. When all the sexual harassment/abuse stories started coming out on Twitter, my coping mechanism just broke. I couldn't minimize it anymore, and I suddenly felt everything that happened crashing down on me all at once. I couldn't ignore it any longer, and I realized what happened was not okay. It couldn't be swept under the rug. I didn't want to see him, talk to him, or work with him. The pattern of problematic behavior led us to decide that we needed to have an intervention with him to get him to realize he needs to change for the better. So we all sat down together as a group, and everyone started sharing with Fed how he once hurt them. We were extremely emotional without a lot of crying, and at the end of it, he seemed very apologetic and understood what he had done wrong. This was the first time he apologized to me about everything, and it did feel really nice to hear. I genuinely felt super happy that it seemed like Fed was very accepting of everything and willing to be better. I wasn't planning on releasing any statement from him, but unfortunately, his behavior since then made me feel like he wasn't really sorry. His actions and words showed he was still avoiding responsibility, that his priority was still himself and his career versus being a better person and resolving the hurt he caused us. My intention for this statement is not to destroy... I wonder what that means. Did he do something with somebody else, or... My intention for this statement is not to destroy him, but to warn other girls about his behavior, about how he pushes boundaries using alcohol as an excuse for his actions. He needs to be held accountable for his actions, learn from his mistakes, and not avoid them like how he was trying to again this time around. I don't think Fed is a bad person, but we all make excuses, or we all made excuses for his behavior for a long time now because we truly loved him as a friend. Even despite all this, ultimately what I'd want in the end is to see him taking steps towards getting help and striving to be a better person. It means they told him to out himself or they would do it for him. Printer man, link me a source on that. Good job. Good luck. You got a couple minutes. Few things I'd like people to keep in mind. Everyone at Offline TV helped me immensely throughout all this. They went through great measures to make sure I was okay and that I would be okay in the future as well. When they learned of this, they never asked me to be silent. In fact, they tried their best to stand up for me and speak for me when I didn't know how to approach this. They made me feel comfortable and empowered to speak my truth because I would have felt too scared otherwise. It may not be possible, but I would like if people could refrain from shitting on Offline TV/negative comments. I would appreciate that a lot because everyone there helped me the most throughout this entire thing. It would really hurt to read awful comments towards people I tried so hard to protect. And lastly, please remember that Fed is human and refrain from extremely hurtful comments that I know he's going to receive. Words can have a very scary impact, and again, I want to emphasize my intention with this statement is not to destroy him. I just felt a strong need to speak my truth and put a warning out there to other women until he does get better. I don't believe he's a bad person deep down. He is someone that even to this day I can't help but care about, and things would honestly be a lot easier if it didn't. Did Fed ever strike you as a creep? Okay, so something I want to emphasize again. If you guys could like... Okay, sorry, fuck. I feel like so much of the conversation around this is so misguided. The problem with this kind of stuff is that you don't know until it happens, okay? There aren't people... I know that I only have a minimal impact, but if you take anything away from this, please, for the love of fucking God, one, stop asking the question like, couldn't you always tell, or didn't you blah, 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 blah. And two, stop going back and making it look like it was so obvious, okay? It's not. Don't, the problem with a lot of this stuff is that you just can't tell. You really can't. Like, no, like, I'm pretty sure that, like, maybe if I didn't talk about like sex or interactions with that so much, I'm like 99% sure that most of you motherfuckers would think there's a story coming out about me like related to this stuff, right? And then like if a rape accusation came out against me, everybody would be like, oh yeah, totally makes sense. Like Destiny talks about cooming all the time. Of course, Destiny's fucked fans before. Like, yeah, of course. Well, yeah, of course it makes sense that he would have raped one, blah, blah, blah. Like when you try to play this game where you're like, oh yeah, it makes sense, blah, 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 blah. The problem with this line of thinking is that there are two incredibly hurtful and two incredibly damaging things that come out. Okay, Destiny, you did touch the girl while shrooming. I was on 10.5 grams of dried mushrooms on the craziest fucking trip that less than anybody, most people in their lives, even that do psychedelics, don't have a trip that hard. And even I asked her if it was okay if I could touch hers. Regardless, okay, even in that situation, I was still getting verbal consent. Yeah, the worst stuff I've ever done, the Mia Rose situation where I had you in a weird spot. No, really, I'll own up to that. That was stupid. I shouldn't have done it, 100%. But the big problem with doing this retrospective bullshit is you have two massive problems that come from this. Okay, is number one. Okay, you make everybody that got molested feel like a fucking moron. Okay. You make everybody feel like insanely like, oh yeah, you should have seen it. You're so stupid, dude. You're so dumb. Why didn't you see it? It was so obvious. 100%, right? 3.5, no, 10.5, okay? Fuck off, all right? Blast off into other universes here, okay? That's where all of my sexual enlightenment comes from. It's by all the mushrooms I ate, all right? When you try to say retrospectively, oh, you should have seen it coming, every single person that experiences this ends up feeling that much dumber. Oh, yeah, fuck. Like, I should have seen it coming. Like, yeah, all the signs were there. Like, oh, yeah, blah, blah. We're not talking about mushrooms right now. Stop talking about mushrooms. Stop talking about mushrooms in chat. There's a YouTube video on it if you want to see it, okay? Stop, okay? So that's number one, okay? Number one is that you undermine everybody that's ever had these experiences, meaning that you prevent them from coming out in the future, and you make the people that it happens to feel even worse, right? Well, fuck, like, everybody said I should have seen the signs. It was so obvious with other people. Like, fuck, I just shouldn't say shit. Like, I wanted this. I must have been asking for it because, like, fuck, like, it's so obvious. Yeah, of course, right? Don't do that shit. Stop doing that. Even with Josh, you shouldn't say that, okay? Even with Josh, you shouldn't say, like, oh, yeah, looking back on it, it's so obvious. Yeah, look at all the jokes or whatever. I make a lot of crazy fucking jokes, okay? Mr. Mooten makes a lot of crazy fucking jokes, okay? A lot of my friends make a lot of really dark, really insane jokes all the time. Doesn't mean we rape anybody. Doesn't mean we would, violate anybody's boundaries. I know I say this a lot, and I know that nobody understands it, but for the 1% of you that'll maybe get this, okay? There is a difference between joking and, like, actual real-life shit, okay? When you see me going hard on fucking anything ever, fucking, you can ask on Alexandra. I almost called her Andrea. Holy shit. You can ask Alexandra. You can ask fucking Mr. Mooten. You can ask fucking any person I've ever interacted with on stream. Like, you might see me going hard like all the time on stream, but I'm always DMing these people like, hey, is there anything I can say that's going to cross their boundaries or anything that makes you uncomfortable? Like, are you sure it's okay to joke about this thing? Like, is it that? Is it that? Like, is that cool? Like, I always check with this shit beforehand because it's not fun for me to like actually legitimately make somebody feel horrible, except for you Twitch chatters, because a lot of you guys deserve it. But like when I'm talking to other streamers, it's not fun to like actually like genuinely make somebody feel like shit, right? Like it's not a good thing, right? Even if you see me engaging in a certain way where it's like, oh God, and the thing that I hate the most is I've heard stories of my fans that do this sometimes. Well, they'll just like fucking go into somebody. They're just like treating someone like shit. And like, oh yeah, dude, like Destiny's so fucking fine. They'll be like my fans. And I've heard secondhand stories about this. And it hurts me because I don't do that. I don't actually make fun of people to the level to where like I think I'm actually sincerely hurting them. That's very, 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 very rare. Again, only when I think people deserve it, okay? Like you fuckers in Twitch chat. Okay, I said there were two parts. So one is that it's incredibly damaging to people, okay, when you say, oh yeah, you should have seen it, right, for all the reasons we talked about. The second part is that prevents any future change in behavior, okay? If we should have seen it the whole time, if we should just know that some people are, really rapey and blah, 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 oh, well then yeah, we just have to keep a closer eye out for it in the future. Wrong. That is not true. What you need to do is there needs to be like a dramatic shift in how we negotiate sexual interactions, because right now it's really fucked on both ends, okay? Men and women both share some responsibility for this, 100%. Unfortunately, in a lot of these cases, the men, culturally, for whatever reason, have been the ones in the position of power over it, which has led to like a lot of fucking exchanges, but like all of us need to come together and dramatically rethink how we renegotiate or how we negotiate sexual encounters, okay? And if you're constantly giving these excuses like, oh yeah, well you can tell when someone's going to be a creepy, blah, blah, blah. You can tell when someone's... No, you can't. You actually really can't. You really, really, really can't. And it's crazy because I see these things. I remember I brought this up on the Scuff podcast last night, and Train's chat got so fucking mad at me when I brought up. I was like, this is kind of like what rape culture is, guys. And they're like, no, this isn't about rape. Yeah, no, it kind of is. It kind of sort of plays into all of that, yeah? Like the idea that men are kind of like owed a certain amount of sexual gratification. The idea that like women are basically like pussy slot machines where you put in some random amount of dinners, gifts, text messages, and then you get the pussy out. Like this is like kind of all that plays into like dating culture right now. And men and women on both sides to some extent feed into it. We can change this, okay? It is totally possible to change this. All right? Destiny's asking about non-sexual boundaries, something you do normally, or just something for people on stream? No, I warn everybody that I talk to. I have a really aggressive and irritating and abrasive personality. And I usually tell people beforehand. I usually warn people like, hey, I'm super obnoxious to be around. Are you sure you're okay? Like, I generally say that. But, yeah, okay, sorry. Okay. Jesus. I would ignore if you're looking on, I'd be careful on Twitter right now because there's going to be the Fed simps are going to be out hardcore, but good luck. Okay. Okay. What was I at? Oh wait, did I know about all this stuff before? I didn't know anything about Fed, no. I debated writing this for a very long time. My relationship ended with George in May of 2017. It was Hotshot GG. It was not the best relationship, and I went through a lot of stuff during that time period as well. He has since apologized, and we have found closure. I went to an event and met up with Chris there. I told him everything that had happened in my previous relationship. Chris took it upon himself to immediately call up friends. That same night, while George was out, we gathered up all my things and swiftly moved everything to the offline TV house. I remember feeling a little scared, nervous, and sad. That's roughly when I joined Offline TV. Chris offered up his room for me as well, and he became my manager. I was so grateful and still am to this day for introducing me to what I consider a second family. I enjoyed his company, and I felt like I had someone genuinely looking out for me. It was all very new and exciting. I felt myself getting better and better every day since the breakup. Sorry. That same month, Chris gave me an opportunity for a sponsorship in Taiwan. I wanted to know who else would go. He told me Scar would go as well, so I agreed to the sponsorship. A week before flying out to Taiwan, I found out Scar couldn't go, but I had already signed the contract. Chris and I flew to Taiwan by ourselves. Nevertheless, I found the opportunity exciting. I was vlogging, we went out to night markets, we had good food, and we drank one night. When it was time to go back, we dropped our friend off and headed to our hotel rooms. Oh, this is the night we hang out, I think. I'm assuming I'm the friend. When it was time to go back, we dropped our friend off and then headed to our hotel rooms. I was very drunk, and so was he. I tried looking for my hotel card key and couldn't find it, so he said he'd just come over to his room, which was right next door. I went to his room instead, and he told me that I could rest for a while in his bed. I agreed and laid down. This is really hard to write. Jesus. I remember the lights turning off, and I remember him taking off his pants. I remember him next to me, legs and arms wrapped around me. It was like that for hours. I remember his legs were hairy, and I remember how disgusted I felt. In the morning, he acted like nothing was wrong. I was confused. I messaged my closest friends at the time crying because it felt wrong and weird. I got depressed again. He noticed something felt off and messaged me first, claiming he did not remember much because he was drunk. We exchanged a few emails. I told him how disappointed and sad I was. He told me he was in a long-distance relationship. He was engaged, and he was going through problems too. The flight back was silent. The house had no idea why I had avoided Chris after that, why I could never make eye contact with him without cringing, because I vividly remember that night. I changed my manager because I couldn't stand looking at him. I didn't know what to do. I was new here, and I thought if I pushed it down, I could get over it. I didn't want to cause problems. He called a house meeting one day in June, and I remember I was shaking. Anxious. I remember I was shaking. I was anxious. I wanted to know if he was going to tell the truth to everyone. We all sat down, and I still couldn't maintain eye contact. He announced his tattoo. He was going to quit drinking forever and wanted everyone to know. He didn't say anything else. It didn't make me feel much better, to be honest. I went to his wedding that summer. I played piano there, became friends with Pekka afterwards, and I lived with the discomfort and guilt for years. I secretly celebrated when he announced he was going to move out. When Albert cheated on me in November of last year, I spiraled into depression again. A week later, I was still hurting very badly. I drank one night. Fed came into my room and asked if I wanted a massage. I agreed. He massaged my legs from my feet up to my upper thighs. He came into my room again drunk and laid on my bed. He said he liked me. He started to visit me a lot. I was confused because I always saw Fed as a good friend, and it hadn't even been 2 weeks since Albert cheated on me. I gently shut him down and started to avoid him for the next few weeks because I felt a little uncomfortable. He eventually got over it and asked me not to tell anyone. When the incident with Yvonne happened, I admit I minimized that too at first. To acknowledge the severity of it would force me to acknowledge what had happened to me as well with Chris. And I couldn't deny Fed a questionable history with girls in our circle. I didn't want to confront the fact that our good friend would be capable of this, and I didn't want to bring up more problems. I see in retrospect I have a habit of minimizing things that happen to me or even my friends. When Albert cheated on me, I initially wanted to keep that a secret to protect him. I've always seen offline TV as a family, which is why it hurts a lot to type this out. I've seen the amount of hate Albert received, and I don't want anyone to go through that. But Yvonne's feelings and experiences are valid, and I didn't want to invalidate them. I've been reminded constantly of my own experiences these past few weeks, and I feel like I've always tried to protect people to keep the peace. It bubbles up relentlessly again and again, and now it's all out for good or bad. It hurts because I still care about Fed. Sometimes I live with residual sadness and resentment from the past, and sometimes I'm just not strong enough. I wish I'd said this sooner so I didn't have to bottle in so much bitterness over the years. I had friends to support me, but I was too afraid and cautious back then. I hope by doing this I can fully move on with a clean slate and perhaps give perspective to others who may be going through similar things. Thank you for reading. Rip. You said you didn't know about Friend. Were you one of the close friends that she had told about Chris? It feels really weird when you ask me that, because I don't know if it's like, it feels like you're just like trying to get like credit for like knowing something, like being in the know. Like I can't tell why you're asking. Like I guess it's kind of weird. Like it feels like some people want like credit for knowing certain things. Like, yeah, I knew about Chris before it happened or whatever. Like, it's just a curiosity. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I guess we've talked about it before, but I don't know. It just feels kind of strange. I feel like some people are like really excited to know stuff. Well, no, that's understandable, right? People like want to feel like they're in the know, and everybody else wants to know or whatever. Well, rip. Does this seem worthy of canceling Fed or Chris? I don't know. Canceling is so hard. I mean, it depends on their behavior, like in the interim. Like, how have they done since then? Do you think this can be a perma ban from Twitch? I have no idea. I don't know. Destiny, bro, I don't get the massage shit. So sometimes what people will do is people will use like borderline behavior to like push boundaries. So like this is something that I feel like I'm going to repeat a lot of shit I've said over the past few days, but I don't know how many new people are filtering in and out. I think that using humor to test a person's boundaries is totally fine and acceptable. If you use a joke or if you ask questions to like probe boundaries, I think that kind of stuff is like super okay. But I think that using physical touch to push boundaries is like way weirder and not okay, because you're getting into an area where the other person might feel like they can't say no. Also, Yvonne said every girl in her friend group had a problem with Fed pushing boundaries. Yeah, and it sounds like there's probably, my guess is that there's going to be a lot more, stories coming out about Fed. I think you owe a number of other girls outside offline TV an apology too. Yeah. Also, the whole I am drunk thing is like, that's like an ultra, ultra, ultra cringe. Or like, I wish I had more experience with like alcoholic people, but like to get to levels of drunkenness where you are like totally fucking completely out of control. Like this is not like I drank, I was a little pretty drunk, and I Ubered back home, and we chilled at the home for a while, and I came down to your room. Like, I don't think that this is like this level of drunk. Like, to get to that level of you're totally crazy, like, there's no way that you're walking around coherent in the basement, inside, like, all of that shit, and you're super chill. Like, there's no possible way. Can you make it clear that it's not a valid excuse, right? Yeah, of course. I would almost think that would go without saying. Like, yeah. Wait, okay, hold on. So this is okay. Hold on. Okay, we'll give a squad W take. I'm assuming you're a girl, but maybe you're not. Maybe you guys are gay. We'll give a bit of a squad W take, because when I say that these can be negotiated better on both sides, I do genuinely mean that. I think that guys and girls can do better things here. I asked for a massage from a guy I was friends with. I made it clear we were just friends. I knew he liked me, so maybe I shouldn't have asked for that massage, because of course he tried to turn the massage into something sexual, leading into eventually trying to kiss me. I dodged and left his house. Still not sure if it was my fault or not destiny. So nobody should ever try to push boundaries like that. That's a really wrong thing to do, but you're also fucking with his head super fucking hard. That is, like, what you're doing is immeasurably fucking cruel to somebody. Like, and I do see this happen sometimes on both ends. I think I dropped this nuclear take like a year ago on stream. It's not as bad, obviously, as like raping somebody, but if you're a girl and you have a guy that like 100% knew that that they have like a massive fucking crush on you, and you're only like stringing that guy along because you know that you can get things out of him, even though he's got a massive crush on you, like, you probably like, it's just plain abusive. Sure. Wait, sorry, fuck, I started reading chat. What did I end up with that as? Say it, Des, say it what? Wait, what did I'm sorry, I was trying to read, there's like a million messages going through right now. ADHD, fucking, you just stopped talking. Oh yeah, sorry, fuck. You probably, yeah, shouldn't do that. That's probably what I meant to end that with. If you string somebody along, oh yeah, if you string somebody along, that's like, it's 99% of the time, that's a horrible fucking thing to do. Like, assuming you know it, like, I don't know, you should never do that. Is the stuff that happened with Emiya abusive, or do you think that situation is different? Whatever Emiya's relationship was with that other guy, just seemed like it was incredibly fucking toxic on both ends. I would be hesitant to say either one there was solely abusive. So do we know what Fed did, do we know that Fed did the things he claimed he did, or are we just taking their word for it? I mean, like, it's the offline TV people, unless there's some grand conspiracy for all of them to come together to fuck Fed over, and there's some crazy shit going on, like, I mean, I'm, like, pretty sure he did it. Yeah, and Fed didn't deny any of it in his response. Legit, what is wrong with these guys? What kind of guy thinks that randomly walking to a girl's bedroom and cuddling with her without consent is an acceptable play? What happened to just asking a girl out? These guys make me feel like a Chad. What a bunch of creeps. Every statement makes me cringe of how they think these types of actions would actually work somehow. This is the second dude in this drama who goes to a girl's bedroom in the middle of the night and starts cuddling without consent. Does this ever work for any guy ever? Unfortunately, it does, obviously, which is part of the problem, right? Yeah. Relevant Fed clip on how he treats women.
Oh, what do you mean ego? What does that mean, ego?
Fuck you. Ego-meister?
I'm fucking calling you, you fucking slut. Answer.
Holy shit.
100%.
Yo, you fucking idiot. I asked you in chat.
You just called me a fucking slut.
Yeah, I fucking did, because you know what? You're fucking being one right now. I'm just kidding. Anyways, I asked you in chat. So I didn't see you call me. I have some remote on, so I don't actually see who's calling me. Do you want to do round 2 of the bug game? Oh, actually, okay, we don't have to do that. We can just talk. You okay? Are you okay? Yeah, you have a weird face. Say a weird face right now.
Okay. Sure, here we go. Okay, sorry. Listen, okay? On both sides, if you're a guy, if you're a girl, okay? So there's basically, we have, okay, where to start? I don't have this like all laid out in my head. It's like the pickup artist bullshit. I know I have this like laid out from start to finish, okay?
Unban me.
Okay, so there's like two basic ways. There's two trains of thought, or two modes of thought, I guess, on how we can like get into a girl's pants, okay? On how we can fuck somebody. There's two different ways to do it. In one way, we basically insinuate or subtly move towards it as much as possible until you've moved the girl into an area where she can't really say no, or you more overtly or explicitly try to negotiate it and figure out like a way to where both of you want to do it. That's basically like the two ways that we do it. Now, so in one way, you can basically say like, hey, like, so in the first way, what we can do is we can have like escalating interactions. Okay, I'm making all of these words up on the fly. I'm sorry if this isn't. Sorry if this isn't as concise as it could be. Okay, so and so in the first way, okay, the second way I mentioned, but like in the more explicit way, what we can have is we can have escalating interactions. Okay, so maybe I message a girl and we're like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Okay, cool. We talk blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. I want to know how you feel about me, so I'm going to escalate. Do you want to go out and have dinner sometime? And then we get like a yes or no. Pretty clear, right? If she doesn't really want to, or if she seems kind of ducky, or if you leave it like, okay, cool, like I'll choose the place, like you name the date and the time, like here's that, and she doesn't really respond, then it's like, oh, okay, cool. She's not interested. Like, whatever, you're done. And you lose, right? But let's say that works, right? You go out to dinner. Oh, cool. Okay, you go out to dinner, you have a good time. Maybe when you get in the car afterwards, you're like, hey, do you want to go to a bar? You want me to drop you off at your place? Do you want to come back to my place? Right? You ask something like that. It's another escalating interaction, right? You're testing boundaries, right? Maybe the girl's like, oh, I'm kind of tired, I want to go home. Okay, cool. Or, oh, I want to go out drinking. Okay, cool. Or like, hey, I want to go back to your place. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, we're escalating, right? And then you like explicitly push a boundary, further and further. Maybe you get back to your place, like, hey, do you want to pour something to drink? Do you want to watch a movie? You want to go to my bedroom? We just fuck, right? Like you're escalating, you're testing, and you're hitting a point. You're basically either looking to get to the point where you're fucking, or until they say no. You're like, no, I'm not comfortable going further. Okay, cool. And then like that's like the explicit, like escalating interaction way to get to the point where you go from nothing to fucking a person. Now, that's in my opinion, I think that is the best way to negotiate from the guy's point of view, like a sexual interaction. I think it's good. Everybody, for the most part, at all points in time, know where the other person stands. You can see that you're clearly trying to push the boundary to see like how far you can go. You're clearly trying to see like, if the other person is interested in you in a certain way. Like, I think that that's like a positive way to get to a sexual interaction. So, on the other hand, what you can do is you can get to you can do it in a much more subtle and manipulative way. Like, so, hey, do you want to come hang out with me and a few friends tonight? Like, sure. Okay, cool. I'll pick you up. You go, you pick the person up. Maybe you stop by some other place first before visiting the friends when it's just you and her, right? Now you have the opportunity to get her alone. You didn't have to ask permission for it, so there was no fear of rejection. She thinks she's going to friends afterwards, and she doesn't want to bail. Now you've got her in a place where, like, you can start, like, putting the moves on her, and she never even wanted that, right? Maybe you go hang out with some friends, and, maybe you show up, and you're like, oh, like, I told him that you're my friend, like, we're chill, like, kind of stay by me or whatever. Like, yeah, now you've got her, like, kind of hooked on you. Maybe you, like, start touching her leg or whatever while you're out. Like, you can do these things where you're constantly putting her in a situation where the goal of, like, this is you're constantly putting somebody in a situation where, like, if this is like the fuck axis and this is the friend axis, right? What you're doing is you're doing actions that are like somewhere between here, right? Like, maybe he just has his hand on my shoulder because he's liking me and that's how he communicates. Or maybe he's like hardcore trying to move me to like fuck me, right? You're constantly playing this fucking gray area where the other person doesn't really know what's going on. And if they trust you, because generally when you're trying to do these types of things, it's usually somebody that trusts you. If they trust you, they're always going to lean towards that friend axis. Like, oh, okay, well, maybe he just touched me because he's friendly. Maybe he just likes to cuddle with me because he's touchy. Maybe he likes to watch movies with me at night because, like, that's kind of what friends do, right? You'll always give them the benefit of the doubt while the other person is constantly, like, pushing farther and farther and farther until they eventually get, like, inappropriate physical contact or full-on sex. Will get into that gray area where it's like, fuck, like, maybe he touched my boob because he was too drunk. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe it's okay. But, like, the big problem here is there's two potential reasons why a guy might do this. One is incredibly insidious, and the other one is a bit less harmful but still bad. The incredibly insidious reason is because the guy knows that she's going to say no. If I full-on come out and ask her why, she's not going to be okay with it. I want to fuck this motherfucker. Even if she doesn't want it, I'm going to do it and we're going to make it happen, right? So that's one way that people can think about it, is like, well, I'm going to keep pushing. If I ask her outright, she's going to say no, but I know that I can push this and get this to happen other ways. That's number one. The second thing is a little bit more legitimate. And the second thing is just that, like, rejection is scary and it hurts. And sometimes it's easier to just like push boundaries in a more subtle way because you know she probably won't say no. And then you don't have to worry about that fear of rejection. You don't have to worry about her ever blatantly saying no because you always have plausible deniability, right? Oh, whoa. When I was touching your thigh, I was just like, I'm sorry, I just had my hand on you. It was just like a friendly thing, you know, like, whoa. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry I touched you, but like I was drunk. It was an accident. Like, I'm sorry. I was just drunk, you know, I didn't mean anything by it. Like, oh, like I kiss all my friends on the cheeks, you know, I'm sorry. Like the problem is that like people will hang out in this area, this zone of plausible deniability. And it sucks too, because it works like a 50-50 where not only does it protect the guy, in some ways it gaslights the fuck out of the girl, because now the girl is looking back and she's like, okay, I don't know if my boundaries have been violated, or maybe I'm just being a massive cunt. Like, I mean, like, he's a cool guy. Like, everybody's friends with him. I know that he's got a lot of friends. He's got a lot of friends that are girls. We have been friends in the past. We've done stuff. Like, yeah, maybe he touched me. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe I'm just being a massive cunt if I bring this up and everybody's going to hate me for it, right? Because now the girl feels like she's getting super fucking gaslit too. Yeah, it's not like... It's not good. Wow, holy shit. Really, guys? Lily deleted her tweet? Thank you, guys. I didn't see that. This is why the women are emotional and crazy meme is so fucked, by the way. You don't want to speak up because you're afraid of acting crazy. Yeah, to some extent, yeah. Sometimes calling a woman crazy is a very good way, a very effective way of undermining everything she's saying. Yeah. I started being more upfront with my intentions instead of dancing around my desires. I get more shut down than I succeed, but it takes up so much pressure. Yeah, seriously, it's like if we were to graph like our happiness over time, this is what it feels like to be direct with somebody. Like, we got shut down, but then you come back and you're fine, right? But when you do like the slow bullshit, you're setting yourself up for like this. You don't get that immediate rejection, but depending on how desperate and horrible you get like this lifelong like friend zone shit, where you never actually have the gall to say like, hey, are you into me, or can we do this? But instead you string yourself along in this stupid fucking zone because you're too scared. I would like super encourage, if anybody's ever tried it. I think I learned this when I was in college. I think I was like 19 or 20. Just like asking a girl out, or asking if a girl like is down to fuck or whatever, and she's just like, nah, not really. I don't see you that way. It's like, okay, cool. I don't have to fucking like, I'm done with it. You close the book, pack it up, and you go on to the next. That's it. That's fine. At least you're done with it. People treat this like fucking, I guess we're not very rational. Oh, I'm sorry. Point Hawk, you've gifted like 20 subs. Thanks, my dude. I appreciate it. Or no, wait, you gifted 10 subs. No, you did 20 subs. Thanks, bud. People don't, yeah. I think being direct and honest is the best bet, but it kind of kills the romance and all the emotion of it. It a little bit, kind of, sort of, but the problem is like so many of you guys are so fucking stupid. You should probably just be direct anyway. Like technically you should be able to figure all of this out using like body language and cues like that. You should be able to do that, but apparently a lot of people have a lot of trouble figuring this out. So, yeah, I don't know. Is body language really that hard for most people to pick up on? I think the problem is that people have a hard time projecting how the other person ought to be acting. So, like, for instance, if I were to message a girl and I were to ask her, hey, do you want to go to dinner tomorrow night? And the girl would message me back and say like, hey, sorry, but I'm kind of busy that night. A lot of people will think like, okay, I need to keep pushing. But what they never think is, let's assume that I'm in their position. let's say that a girl I have a massive crush on, okay? Let's say that she DMs me. She says like, hey, do you want to go out to eat tomorrow night? I would never, ever respond back, sorry, busy tomorrow night. I would never say that. Of course you would never say that. You'd be like, okay, tomorrow night I'm busy. I'm free tomorrow afternoon. I'm free tomorrow after midnight. And I'm free the next day as well. Like, what's another date that works for you? You would 100% come back with a counter offer, right? It's the same thing as negotiating a business deal, right? You'd look for a counter offer. Anybody that just flatly like, I'm busy, is like not interested. Like, that's it. And people like never really think of it in that way. What do you think about the she's just playing hard to get meme? Those girls should be punished by you never paying attention to them. There are legitimately 100%. There are girls that play those stupid fucking games. Fuck those girls. Okay? 100% it happens. 100% it happens. Fuck them. Okay? That shit is toxic. Girls need to cut that shit out. 100%. Yeah, of course. I think that girls, I think, here you go, hot take. If you want equal rights and equal protections and equal all that shit 100% in 2020, you lazy ass motherfucking cowardly pieces of shit need to fucking make a move sometimes, okay? Don't sit there and wait for the guy to do it all the fucking time. There are girls that I talk to sometimes and I know they're waiting for me to say something, and I can literally just go on for hours and they won't fucking say shit. I know they're just waiting for me to make a move. It's like, fuck you, motherfucker. Why the fuck do I have to do this? This is so stupid. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Do you think you're clueless if you don't do anything? No, I'm just saying I think that it's a little bullshit that like girls expect guys to make all the moves sometimes. Destiny is the dumbest shit ever. The best part is when you call them out for it and their excuses, but that's the guy's job. Yeah, for sure. That's dumb. Destiny, expand upon escalating from existing friend scenario. Woof. Okay, hold on. Twitch streamer Fedmyster has been removed from offline TV phone. Wait, why are you linking me this? Oh, okay. Okay. Now we're getting into some red pill pickup artist. I don't know if any of them mentioned this, okay? Okay. In my opinion, oh god, hold on. I'm trying to think of how nuclear. Okay, everything I speak of is in generalities, okay? So this might not be 100%, okay? But in my opinion, men and women, I think, fundamentally sort their friends in different ways. So, number one, I feel as though women generally have two different categories of men that they associate with. One are friends, and then one are like people that they would go further with. And I think it's very, very rare for these two things to cross. For guys, I think that guys tend to see everybody as potential fuck buddies. If you're a guy and you have a girlfriend, you would go all the way from the top to the bottom of the ladder with your girlfriends, and you would fuck every single one. Most guys, I think, are like that. Generally true. For girls, I think girls generally have groups of friends that they consider guys, then groups of friends that they would go further with, but they would not. If you are like a friend with a girl on a long period of time and she sees you as a friend, I think it's very, very, very rare that she's going to magically see you as a romantic partner. Now, that's like not always the case. There can be exceptions to this, obviously. Like anything can happen, but I think that's something that you should probably be aware of. Now, the way that you use this, though, the way that you use this as a guy, okay, is to go back to what I said before about being explicit. The nice thing about being explicit as a guy is that you can immediately find out where you stand with a girl if you are just incredibly fucking blunt with the girl. Like, if you let them know immediately where you are, then Destiny, people's attractiveness changes over time too. I know that a lot of you guys have read some like red pill, black pill shit or whatever, but the idea that girls are figuring out their sex partners based solely on how they look is just so fucking wrong. It's so funny because girls obsess over their looks in ways that guys are like, why the fuck do you care about that? Like, guys will make fun of girls for like, why do you care about like the inside of your like nose being red? Like, nobody notices that. But then guys will do the exact same thing to themselves, where guys will obsess over their looks in ways which like where girls are like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you have like chiseled abs or some shit. Like most guys don't care about that, or most girls don't care about that either. Or I mean, like, there are guys that prefer certain types of girls, and there are girls that prefer certain types of guys. But every girl thinks that every guy wants like a model fucking blonde, huge tits, huge ass, blah blah blah. And then every guy thinks that every girl wants like a chiseled, ultra muscular, 6'10" fucking Chad or whatever. It's not true. It's like, it's super not true. Like, both sets of you guys totally fuck yourselves in the head. With these examples. Yeah. But anyways, one of the big problems that some guys will run in with girls is that because guys have all girls on like on some sort of ranked fuck list, and because girls don't have guys on all of that, right? It seems like they have two different categories of friends. A guy will friend a girl really hard, and harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. And from the guy's point of view, he's getting closer and closer and closer. They're building on their relationship. It's so good. He's getting closer. He's almost to the goal. He knows what he wants. They're almost going to be dating or fucking or whatever. And for the girl, she's got that guy clearly in the friends bucket. Like, oh my God, this guy's becoming a closer and closer friend to me. We're getting so tight. This is so cool. We have sleepovers. This is fun. I watch movies with him. Oh my God, he's like a really close friend. This is so cool. And then eventually, the guy will spring the question. We'll be like, hey, do you want to fuck? Do you want to be my boyfriend, girlfriend? And then all of a sudden, the girl's like, whoa, this is way different than what I thought. And then both people end up feeling super fucked here because now the guy is like, whoa, you just strung me along this whole time, you stupid fucking cunt. You're a heartless, horrible bitch. And then the girl's like, whoa, you just lied about your intentions this whole time. You thought that by being extra friendly to me that I would fuck you? What the fuck is wrong with you? And then everybody feels fucked in that situation. But most guys lie about not caring about looks, e.g. the Megan Fox thumb controversy. I don't know what the fuck that is. I know that we can have certain opinions about how people look when we're looking at photos on Instagram or when we're jerking off to pornography. But when it comes to like real life interactions with people, like, I don't think that people are anywhere near as selective. You would be shocked at how little you remember explicitly from a person. Like, especially people we like. Like, if you think right now, okay, we're gonna gamble this one. Ready? If you close your eyes right now and you think of somebody that you hold in very high regard, romantically, whether it's a crush you have, whether it's a girlfriend or wife or boyfriend or husband or stepbrother or stepsister, I guess, because this is 2020, if that's your thing, or dog or cat, I don't fucking know, you fucking freaks out there, okay? But like, close your eyes. Think of somebody that you hold in like really, really high regard. I don't know how you guys are all typing in chat right now with your eyes closed, okay? Okay? Think about that person's face for a moment, as much as you can, all right? Chances are, when you do that, unless their condition is like really, 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 really bad, you don't normally remember like, oh shit, that person had a pimple. Or, oh my God, wait, that guy has a little bit of acne scarring. Or, oh no, wait, I remember that person has like like, generally you remember things like their mouth, you remember like their eyes especially, maybe like the hair on their forehead. Like, these are usually like the things that you remember about a person. But when we go out, when we look at ourselves, the only things we think about are like, oh my God, like I have this fucking pimple on my eye. Like, it's the only thing they're going to see. Like, oh God, I have this fucking thing on my ear. Oh, but generally, like, when people remember each other, they don't normally remember like all these minor itty bitty, like, usually remember somebody in like an almost like this like idealized form. And people freak out about this shit so much, but it's just not normally how we see each other. We don't see each other like when you're analyzing an Instagram photo to go post on your fucking Instagram versus reality subreddit or whatever to show how fake all these bitches are online. Like, yeah. Oh, you can open your eyes now. Sorry, guys. All right. On dating apps, it's basically all looks, right? Dating apps are shit. Don't use dating apps to be like don't use dating apps as like rating like real life interactions. You guys fuck yourselves in the head so much on like on like trying to pretend that like Tinder is the real world. Like, Was the Ari and Nina drama a Me Too thing? Listen, I didn't let myself get Me Too. We moved past that, okay? How do you escalate a person you meet at school into a romantic partner and not a friend? I don't know, like ask them to do like romantic things. Ask them to like go to dinner. I'm so boring, dude. Ask them to go to like dinner or a movie. You can do stuff like that. Or because everybody is so boring and I'm so boring, you can get like major brownie points if you like sit down and you spend like 2 fucking minutes, okay, trying to plan something out. You can score massive fucking points with somebody by doing that. Like fucking, you could like put a fucking big blanket in your trunk. You can drive to a fucking Wendy's and both get food, and then you can drive to some park and lay the blanket out and just fucking eat your fast food in a park. Like something as small and as stupid as that can be like an incredibly memorable experience with somebody. Like even something as dumb as that can be like a massively like, oh, this was like actually like really cute. This was so much fun. Like something as dumb as that can be like so memorable, can be seared into a person's mind. Yeah. Now, when you're a streamer like me, you just link them to Sully Gnome and you go, check those 7-day averages. And then they go, you stream too much. You're never going to see me. I'm not dating you. And then they leave for Sweden forever and use COVID-19 as an excuse, Melina. Do you do this with guy friends, ranking them on attractiveness and be okay with having sex? What? No. Not at all. I'm a gay bro and I cannot relate to this. Oh, yeah, no, I don't know. I don't see any of my guy friends sexually at all. I'm sorry, I don't know why. You should write a Coomer manifesto on your subreddit? What, for flirting and shit? Yeah, I don't know.
What was your most memorable date?
What was my most memorable date? Oh, man. I usually just go out to eat, and I usually just see movies. I've done, like, hiking and stuff before, I guess. I guess like usually like
100%.
any extra date is usually just going around like
Poachers.
walking around somewhere, like hiking stuff, I guess. No, I mean I guess I've been to like I've traveled so much. I don't know, I'm sorry. I don't remember anything. Movies are such a shit thing to do on a date. Really? I really like movies. You get to cuddle up next to a person, you can watch a movie, you have something to talk about afterwards. I don't know. But I also really like watching movies. I super enjoy it. I really love going to the movies. I might go alone sometime maybe if I don't have anybody here. Movies are like one of my like #1 ways that I like to bond with some people. Bad as first dates? Oh, maybe, I guess. I don't know. I really enjoy watching movies. And I can understand a person afterwards when they start talking some dumb shit after a movie. I know I'm never seeing this motherfucker again. That's what music and live shows are for. Man, I tried to go to a concert. I hated it. I thought now that I'm 30, I'm like, all right, let's... I actually took Lily. I went to a Toei concert. I was like, this is my favorite band in the world. Lily's one of my closest friends. Let's fucking go. Nothing happened. That's not getting Twit longer anywhere, okay? We went, and I hated it. It was fun, I guess, like, hanging out with Lily, but I just don't like it, dude. I don't see the appeal at all. I just really don't like it. I don't know. I didn't get it at all.
Just for clarification, you meant that guy to end his life in GTA 5, right?
Of course.
Bonus meme, you boy fucked and Ducker Z.
Do you think it's due to the type of music? Yeah, actually, maybe. Maybe if I was like more into like dancing or like metal or like raves or EDMs or whatever, maybe that would be more fun. I don't know. Yeah, that's possible. I'm just maybe not like I don't like the right kind of music for. Do you talk about Bless RNG? Nope. Oh my god. You know, it's really memorable recently. I wish I could remember this. In Toronto, me and V went to some fucking chocolate place. Oh my god, it was so good. I remember that just because I want the chocolate again. Oh, that chocolate place was so fucking good. I don't remember what it's... Does anybody know? Toronto chocolate restaurant. Oh, Soma? Is that it? Soma chocolate pizza. Images. Toronto. Nope. It was next to a there was like a big dumbass fucking statue. It's in some part of Toronto or whatever. There was some big ass dumbass statue that you guys have outside that people look at? People are saying cacao 70. Oh, it was this place. Oh, yes. Oh my god. Okay, this place is fucking amazing. They've got like 30 items on the menu. And they're all chocolatey. Oh my god. Oh, fuck. I need this.
100%.
100%. Oh. Was it expensive? I don't remember. Everything in Canada is a little more expensive because it's technically cheaper, but the currency's lower than ours, so it's all marked up higher. Oh, how many calories? If I had to guess in these 2 slices of pizza, if I had to guess, I would say between these two, 800 calories. Maybe, I'd say 800. That'd be my guess on it. Wait, why are people laughing at pizza?
Most people don't go to concerts stone cold sober like it's a fucking school field trip, you fucking dork.
Yeah, wait, don't you guys call this? It's called like dessert pizzas? Can you please say that Toronto is better than Vancouver? I didn't get to do much in Vancouver for reasons. Vancouver's scenery is beautiful. I still stand by, except for possibly New Zealand. I think that whole region, the Pacific Northwest region, is one of the most beautiful places in the fucking world. Vancouver is so beautiful. But I didn't do much over there. I mean, I would say it's easily more beautiful than the scenery around Toronto. Easily. Thoughts on pursuing a girl who is kind of in a relationship? That's a hard one, my dude. That's gonna vary from situation to situation. Good luck.
How do you recommend meeting people at bars and such? I feel like I can't just go up to randoms and talk to them.
I don't know. I don't know how to meet people at bars. Oh yeah, wait, this was the restaurant. Wait, did she make like a story of this? Why is there no volume? Wait, is this the restaurant? The Cacao 70
How do you
restaurant?
feel about being physically attractive enough to get your foot in the door?
Yeah,
That they might not give your personality a chance if they think you're ugly.
I think that every single person has the opportunity to be a 6.5 out of 10 at least. That's like the floor. If you just get like clothes that fit, an okay haircut, maintain your facial hair. Got opinions on finding self-worth during lockdown. Low-key feels like I'll never find love because I feel like I fucking suck. I don't know, dude. I don't know how to find self-actualization. That's a hard one. If I could tell you how, I'd let you know.
You make all kinds of crazy jokes on this show. Doesn't